Welcome to Advanced Dual Health and Life Coach Certification. Today we're going to discuss Foundations of Health and Life Coaching, specifically Foundations of Cognitive Behavioral Coaching, or CBC. Let's start with an introduction. Cognitive behavioral coaching, also known as CBC, is a structured and evidence-based approach rooted in cognitive behavioral therapy. It focuses on recognizing the link between thoughts, emotions, and behaviors to empower individuals in achieving meaningful goals. While CBT is traditionally therapeutic, CBC is goal-oriented, making it a powerful tool for personal growth, professional development, and overcoming challenges. By understanding CBC's foundations, techniques, and distinctions from therapy, coaches can apply this model to help clients unlock their potential. Let's jump into some key points of learning. The principles of cognitive behavioral coaching. Number 1, thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are interconnected. The core idea: negative thoughts impact emotions and behaviors, often creating destructive cycles. For example, if a client thinks, "I'll fail at this task," they may feel anxious and procrastinate. CBC helps clients identify and interrupt such cycles by fostering productive beliefs. For example, what you think shapes how you act. What new thought can you lead forward with? Focus on present and future. Unlike therapy, CBC emphasizes the here and now while building pathways for future growth. Coaches guide clients to recognize self-limiting beliefs, reframe negative thoughts, and take action. Here's a key question. What is one step you can take today to create the future you desire? Number 3, goal orientation. CBC prioritizes actionable outcomes through goal-setting techniques like SMART objectives. Example, instead of vague goals like, "I want confidence," a SMART goal would be, "I want or I will deliver a 5-minute presentation within the next 2 weeks." Techniques for mastery. Encourage clients to anchor goals in measurable outcomes that reflect their values. Number 4, guided self-discovery. Coaches use powerful questioning to help clients uncover their thought patterns. An example question: what's holding you back from trying this? Here's another one. When has this belief been true? And when hasn't it? Number 5, strength-based development. CBC fosters resilience by highlighting strengths and strategies clients can replicate. For example, a client learns to reflect on past successes to generate confidence in current challenges. The example: you've accomplished great things before. What can we learn from those moments? CBC techniques for goal-oriented coaching solutions. Number 1, cognitive restructuring. Restructure negative or limiting thoughts to create more empowering perspectives. Example, replace "I am a terrible presenter" with "I have the skills to improve my delivery." Here's a question. What would happen if you believe the opposite of this thought? Number 2, ABCDE model. A practical process for understanding thoughts and reframing negative patterns. A, activating event. Identify the triggering situation. For example, nervousness for an upcoming work review. B, beliefs. Explore what the client believes about the situation. For example, "My manager will criticize me." C, consequences. Understand the emotional and behavioral impact. For example, avoiding preparation leading to poor performance. D, dispute. Challenge irrational beliefs. Here's a coach question. What's the evidence that supports or contradicts this belief? And E, exchange. Replace with supportive thoughts and action plans. For example, "I've prepared thoroughly and feedback will help me improve." Number 3, journaling practices. Encourage clients to document thought patterns, emotional triggers, and outcomes. For example, use a daily journal to reflect on moments that reinforce limiting beliefs. Here's another example. Writing out your thoughts helps you shape new narratives. Number 4, here come those SMART goals again. The SMART goal framework. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound, and these all drive progress. For example, "I will complete 3 client calls by Thursday." Here's a coach tip. Collaboratively break large goals into manageable steps. Number 5, visualization and behavioral rehearsal. Clients visualize success and mentally rehearse desired behaviors. For example, a client practices visualizing confident body language for a presentation. The coach prompt: what does success feel and look like for you in this scenario? The example: preparation builds confidence. Let's visualize your success together. Number 6, focus on emotional awareness. CBC integrates practices to identify, name, and reframe emotions. For example, turning anxiety into actionable excitement by reframing nervous energy as a motivation. Here's a question. What can your emotions teach you about what matters most? CBC versus CBT. In this table, you'll see the aspect, CBC, and CBT. The focus. For CBC, it's goal-oriented for personal and professional growth. For CBT, it's therapeutic, resolves past trauma or pathology. The aspect, contact. CBC, present and future-oriented. CBT includes past explorations. Techniques, CBC, cognitive frameworks, A, B, C, D, E, and SMART goals. CBT, diagnostic and clinical tools. Aspect, objective. CBC, empower clients to coach themselves. CBT, address mental health disorders. Here's an example. CBC asks, what's next, rather than what happened? Coach tip, stay within the coaching scope and refer clients to therapy when deeper emotional healing is required. Here are some summary tables of what you just learned. Table number 1, the core principles of CBC. On this slide, you see the principle, the description, an example, a coach prompt or question, and a key insight. Let's walk through one. Focus on present and future is the principle. The description, CBC addresses current challenges and builds towards goals, leaving past focus reflections to therapy. The example, a client redefines I've always failed into I now have tools to succeed going forward. Coach prompt question, if you could design the future today, what would it look like? Key insight, coaching empowers action in real time, creating momentum for future achievements. Take a few moments to review the rest of the slide. Table number 2, Advanced CBC Techniques Overview. Here you'll see the technique, the purpose, the steps, the example, coach tip, and additional considerations. Let's break down that ABCDE model again. The purpose, explore thoughts deeply and systematically to reframe patterns that impede growth. The steps, activating event, beliefs, consequences, dispute, exchange. The example, nervous about feedback? Dispute belief isn't just constructive criticism to grow. Coach tip, practice with role play scenarios to solidify new behavior patterns. And additional considerations, use visual diagrams to support kinesthetic or visual learners in understanding the process. Take a few moments to review the rest of the advanced CBC techniques on this slide. You'll see cognitive restructuring, SMART goals, journaling practices, visualization and behavioral rehearsal, and focus on emotional awareness. Table number 3, the ABCDE model simplified and expanded. Here you'll see the step, the definition, the example, the coach question, and the insight for clients. On the steps, you'll see the activating event, the belief, the consequences, the dispute, and the exchange. Let's walk through the dispute. If that's the step, what's the definition? Challenge these assumptions with logical reasoning. For example, replace assumptions like I'm incompetent by exploring evidence more of competence repeating that's proven. Coach question, what's the factual evidence supporting this belief? Could there be another perspective? Insight for clients. Building alternate narratives reduces the grip of irrational beliefs repeatedly. Take a few moments to review the rest of the slide. Table number 4, CBC versus CBT comparison. In this table, you will see the aspect, the cognitive behavior coaching, CBC, cognitive behavior therapy, CBT, and why it matters for coaching students. The aspect, you'll see the focus, the orientation, techniques, professional role, and outcome. Let's jump into that outcome. For CBC, higher performance, resilience, and focus in daily pursuits and long-term ambitions. For CBT, stabilization or improvement in a client's mental or emotional well-being, often related to clinical conditions. Why this matters for coaching students? CBCs allows advanced measurable results applicable to professional goals and personal self-discipline betterment. Take a few moments to review the rest of the table of CBC versus CBT comparison. Table number 5, advanced quotes coach may use. Here you'll see the quote, the scenario or context, and why it resonates. Let's walk through one. Who do you need to become to succeed at this time? The scenario or context? For clients faced with challenges transforming them beyond their comfort zone. And why it resonates? It encourages identity-driven goal setting for profound self-improvement. Here are some multiple choice questions. What is the primary focus of cognitive behavioral coaching, CBC? A, resolving past traumas. B, achieving present and future goals. C, diagnosing behavioral disorders. Or D, emotional healing. The correct answer is B, achieving present and future goals. What does the E in ABCDE model represent? A, emotional regulation. B, exchange of thoughts. C, evidence-based reasoning. Or D, empowerment. The correct answer is B, exchange of thoughts. Number 3, how does CBC differ from cognitive behavioral therapy? A, by exploring emotions through mindfulness. B, by creating structured behavioral strategies. C, by focusing on actionable goals rather than healing the past. Or D, by emphasizing deep-rooted emotional recovery. The correct answer is C, by focusing on actionable goals rather than healing the past. Number 4, what is the CBC coach's primary tool for setting goals? A, emotional analysis. B, trauma healing strategies. C, SMART goal framework. Or D, free-form exploration. The correct answer is C, SMART goal framework. And number 5, during cognitive restructuring, which coaching question fosters reframing a negative belief? A, what's an opposing thought that could serve you better? B, why do you feel stressed out right now? C, how can we diagnose your mental state? Or D, what's the next big milestone in your past? The correct answer is A, what's an opposing thought that could serve you better?